I'm going to show you on my flow page right here, which is like a link tree, all my links in one spot. I'm going to show you how you can dive deep in here with my free resources and get way more information than your attorney would ever show you. So follow along and watch carefully, and you should be checking out my flow page if you haven't yet. Most of you guys don't look at my flow page, which is a free link with a bunch of free links in it for resources and help. And the reason why you wouldn't look at the free information is because you don't want to fight that bad, or you don't want to win that bad, and you don't love your kids enough to dig deep and fight. When I got full custody of my daughter in 2001, when she was 7 months old, I didn't have the internet at my disposal with stuff like this. I didn't have legal research. There was no Lexis, a version of Lexis, the search engines that attorneys use to look up case law are Westlaw and Lexis. They're like the Mercedes-Benz and BMW of legal research. I didn't have that at my disposal. Washington State had kind of a Mickey Mouse version of looking up case law, but it's really cumbersome and difficult. I had to go to the law library and look up stuff in books. When I found Dads Against Discrimination in the phone book, I went to one of their free meetings, and they have one a month. I didn't have somebody at my disposal right. And when I listened to their free meeting and the free little seminar that they had, there was like 20 different guys there. Some of them had girlfriends there. They were all whining and crying and pissing and moaning. So it's been the same ever since the beginning. I was the only one who walked up to the guy afterward and said, I need to consult with you. That's why I don't give you guys any excuses. If you're whining, crying, pissing, and moaning, tell me how bad the system is, you can F off and go somewhere else, because you're a pussy who doesn't want to fight. If you want to fight, you will take advantage of this free stuff. You can't be that stupid. You can't be that lazy. You can't be that scared to not look at this stuff. If you want to win in your court case, you can't be that cowardly, dumb sissy who doesn't want to fight. So let's take a look at some resources here. Now, looking at this stuff isn't a guarantee in and of itself, but just like in any war or in a sports competition, let's say you want to be Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, you'll work on dribbling with your left hand and your right hand. You work on your inside game and your outside game. You work on your defense and your free throws. Some of you guys just want to work on your free throws or your three-pointer or just the flashy stuff. You're going into court where they can blindside you with the rules of evidence and get your stuff thrown out, some technicality, some due process thing or whatever. If you don't learn everything, or make sure that your attorney knows everything and knows all the strategies, if you're not using all the weapons available, even in war, it's the same thing. You want to go into battle with a machete, a grenade, a bazooka, all the stuff with the hand-to-hand, one-on-one combat, and then you want to have your army backing you, military tanks and all that stuff. You want to go in with every weapon available. You wouldn't go in with just a grenade, or just a handgun, or just a bayonet or a knife or whatever. You wouldn't go in with just one little thing. You guys bring a squirt gun to a third world, World War III battle in family court, and then you wonder why you lost. I tried hard. Your effort doesn't mean jack squat. You can go out and run a treadmill for 2 hours. If you eat donuts for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, it will not work. Your effort doesn't work. It's fighting wisely from all angles. On a diet, it does. If you're trying to lose weight, it doesn't work just exercising. You have to balance it with diet, calories in, calories out, and you have to look at all kinds of different, and what you're putting in and stuff like that. You don't just get to do one aspect. You don't get a driver's license by just learning how to brake, or to hand signal, or to parallel park, or to yield, or to know who has the right of way in any situation. You have to learn all of those things in order to pass a driving test. Because when you're driving, you need to know how to yield, what lights mean what signs mean what the circular intersections mean, how to back around a corner and park, how to parallel park, how to back in parking, how to check your blind spot. You don't just learn one aspect of that. I shouldn't have to tell you guys this. See, you guys should be normal human beings with a brain who should say, oh my God, James won in court. And he kept winning over and over against seasoned veteran attorneys with up to 40 years experience. Actually, 50. And he destroyed Guardian Lions and got his baby's mom found in contempt, and he has countless testimonials online. I need to listen to this guy and use every bit of resource he has. If you want to be a good basketball player and you want to go to a Michael Jordan camp, you wouldn't say, oh, Michael Jordan doesn't know what he's talking about. Oh, I'll just go to one 15-minute session of the camp, and the camp is like over 2 days, 4 hours total, or something like that. You would not go to somebody who's the best at something, or at least accomplished and have. I got what you want. I had a great relationship with my daughter. She's 24 now. Had her since she was a baby, 7 months old. I have what you want. So you're hating and whining and crying, complaining about the way I talk harshly or the way I have answers. You should want to get the answers, whether you like my tone or not. And if you lost in court and I won, then I did something right and you did something wrong. You should want to find out. But guys got their guys are feminine and emotional, and they got their egos caught. There's nothing worse than a feminine man who's got his ego caught up. So you got a man with the ego who wants to fight and argue and say it should be my way or the highway. I shouldn't have to submit to the courts and the court rules and all that stuff. If you go to a football game, you have to play by the football rules. If you play a chess game, you can't play by checkers. If you play Monopoly, you can't play like the game Life. Or you have to follow the rules of wherever you're engaged with. And we do that in any area of life. If you're a construction worker, you have to follow the blueprints. You have to follow the laws about specs and things to follow, electrician or whatever. But for some reason, when we get to family court, we think the rules don't apply and we don't have to work hard. We don't have to do stuff that we've done all our lives because we easily ejaculated in a woman and we think we should easily obtain custody of our kids because we were stupid to have a kid with a crazy woman. Now, let's get to, here's some resources. If you stuck around, then you actually care and you can filter through me telling you guys what it is. Like a coach would chew you out if you were sloughing off and being lazy and weren't practicing hard or getting ready for a game. Or a boss at work. See, we get chewed out by people all our lives, and then I come in and say, grow some balls and stop fighting like a pussy. Then you get butt hurt. So let's take a look at some of the free resources here. So when you're on my flow page, Father's Rights and Resources, and you scroll down. I was trying to skip the phone number because I think when I post a phone number, it like TikTok bans a video. Excuse me for doing that. My store, there's so much stuff in here that's worth thousands and thousands of dollars. Most packets are $45. This store should be blowing up because my gender isn't resourceful, can't use common sense that God gave a monkey and say, oh my God, this guy won. He has materials that helped him win and help thousands of other people. This defending against restraining order packet, there's some people who never got a consult with me and got this packet and fought off restraining orders. You guys, is the number one problem that you have as far as court pleadings and strategies is when a woman goes for a restraining order. I should have sold 1 million of these by now. I sell like 1 or 2 a month maybe. Anyway, and there's people out there saying I'm getting rich off of people's misery. People are lucky I'm still around. Here's a bunch of free documents. You guys don't know about my consultation rates. Okay, so here's a section there's my winning court orders, just a few of them. I got several more, but they'd be too hard to explain because there are specific motions. Okay, must see information, the effects on the kid's brain not having a loving bond with the father. Not having a father in the home full time. See, some of you guys will read this stuff and you won't pay attention. Some of this stuff says when a father's not in the home, and if you have the common sense God gave a monkey, you say, well, if the father's not in the home, then that means the statistics are applying to when he's in the home full time, the children benefit. So we should be giving custody to dads. But you guys, so here's a bunch of statistics on that. APA Journal, children under 4 do better with 50-50 parenting plans than every other weekend. This one right here, Psychiatric Times. Now look at this. Here is a doctor and a psychologist, MD and PhD, writing a silent epidemic. Parent alienation in a child is on par with physical and sexual abuse. Dr. Childress says that also. And then you go down here, look at this. If you guys actually cared enough, you would read this whole like 2-page article and then look at all the resources about alienation in other papers that they use. This is a scholarly paper that was published in the Psychiatric Times, and it was done by a couple of experts in the area of psychology and medicine. Doctor and psychologist. And then if you click on this dude, if you actually care, you will look and see, look at all these articles he has on parent alienation and false allegation of sexual abuse, stuff you guys deal with. And this stuff is at your disposal for free in the links that I have, and you guys won't even look at this stuff. You are your own worst enemy. Grow some balls and be a man and be resourceful and take some time to do this and stop watching Monday night, Thursday night, Saturday night, and Sunday night football all day long. Grow some balls and fight for your kids.